Is Superman slowing down? Is he feeling his age? And if so, what will this mean for young John Kent? Well, let's hop into the pages of Superman issue number 29, the beginning of the brand new Golden Age story arc, and find out. So then, as we join this newest story from this newest creative team, Superman and Superboy are out in space dealing with some nasty green aliens that have come through some sort of strange portal breach. In a rather interesting creative choice, there is no actual spoken dialogue for the first half or so of the comic. Instead, we actually get to jump inside John's head and hear what he's thinking. It would seem that the young Superboy's mind is drifting to the idea of childhood and that golden age wherein your parents seemed unstoppable, like, well, superheroes. Hey, that's the title of the story. Of course, John is a little bit different. While he certainly relates to that sentiment, his father is indeed an actual, real bulletproof superhero. Though admittedly, ever since John came back from the past, he's beginning to notice his father slowing down. He's not as fast or as strong as he used to be, and that golden age seems to be coming to an end in his mind. Now, what Superboy doesn't know, and we the reader do know, is that there's actually a reason for Superman seeming weakened right now, and that is that the portals that these aliens are coming out of are secreting a kind of radiation that is able to somehow weaken Superman, but not John, interestingly enough. Who's behind these portals, you might be asking? Well, as we find out, it's actually Amanda Waller of Task Force X and the Suicide Squad. She's actually been directing Star Labs to open the portals and keep them open so she can test the effects on Superman. What's with Waller's newfound interest in the Superman family and Kryptonian biology? Well, I think it actually makes perfect sense if you see what she's been doing with Connor over in that brand new Suicide Squad book. Check it out if you haven't. Now, Clark doesn't need super senses to realize that his son is troubled, and as such tries to relate to him on their way back home by playing a game with him from his youth. Superman also gets a little wistful himself. He hasn't seen much of his son since he got picked up to go to the future by the Legion. To say nothing of Superman and Lois still dealing with the fact of so much of their son's life and their time together was taken from them, stolen in fact by evil villains that aged him up. As we soon discover though, John's distress runs a lot deeper than just seeing his father as more human and defeatable than ever before. You'll recall that John went to the future wherein the legend of Superman is, well, legendary. And all of the exploits of the Man of Steel are written in stone, meaning that John may or may not have actually peaked at the time wherein his father was supposed to die. And given his recent erratic emotional behavior, it doesn't take a family psychologist to theorize that maybe Superman is supposed to die sooner rather than later. And that John himself cannot shake the feeling that he is completely unready to inherit the mantle of Superman and to try and fill the shoes of his famous father. And believe it or not, it's on that note right there the comic comes to an end, everybody. And so that was Superman issue number 29, and I gotta say it's an interesting start for a new story. It feels that Bendis in his run was in such a rush to age John up and get him out of the book that he didn't bother to actually try and buckle down and tell some interesting stories about a father who literally lost so many years of fun and adventures with his son. There's also something so human and relatable about the idea of a child worrying about their parents' death, especially as I myself get older. I feel myself thinking about it more than I probably should. Add in the extra dimension too that the entire world, the entire multiverse counts on Superman and that you yourself will be expected to fill those shoes one day, and yeah, you can understand that it's a lot for one kid to bear. I also can't help but feel that between this story, Future State, and some stuff we saw in Infinite Frontier, DC editorial and creative is in no rush to turn John back into a kid anytime soon. But that they're also not going to be forgetting about him either, and it seems that they want to make him the focal point of a lot of Superman-centric stories going forward, which I'm certainly down for. I know the art in this one isn't going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it actually reminds me of late 90s, early 2000s comic work, so you know, there was definitely a bit of nostalgia for me. Overall, I'd give this one a 7.5 out of 10. I'm definitely more invested in this than I have been invested in the last couple Superman stories.
Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest, that's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, you know, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.